So Curtis, I got the question early on, why do we have a UCaaS provider on this call? You're really not selling security directly to the end user, but I tell you what, your category of technology is the most explosive category right now, especially with COVID. We saw more transactions in this space than we've had in the last 3 years in like the last 2 months. And so not only is it important from the work from home perspective, securing all of that is essentially important. I believe as Senior Vice President of Operations, that's one of the first things you think about every day when you wake up.
Hey, yeah, thanks for letting me join this morning. Not just when I wake up, when I sleep, any other time, airplane naps, whatever it may be. But yeah, it's real interesting. But I will say one thing, UCAS made quite the entrance into the security world in the last few months, didn't we? So we knew as an industry how to really make a lot of noise around this. But what's a little bit strange is, you go back a decade, 10 years ago, not that long, slightly at pre-iPhone time, and you could probably eavesdrop on just about anyone in the world with a $25 butt set right outside their building on the telephone blocks. And here we are in an age now where we've started to take things to the cloud, the applications to the cloud. We started with not very sensitive data. We started with things we put in Salesforce, who we were selling to, how we were trying to sell to them, and everything else like that. There wasn't a big CISO opportunity to go there, oh, wow, that's a high-risk footprint. My competition is probably selling to the same people anyway. We didn't get very excited about that part. But as we started going down the maturity block of the SaaS models, we started going to support models. We started going into other file sharing, which, can be very secure and also meant to distribute a lot of information at the same time, and started to move down that block. And you started going, well, there's HR information to put in here now. Maybe I don't want that to go too far. But when you got to communications, and it was literally everything the company was saying to each other, the CEO and the CFO having that conversation before their earnings call on, are there any issues in our statement? What are the risks associated with my current S1K1? So there could be really important conversations going on here that shouldn't really be in the public domain. And suddenly, what goes through my communication platform became super important.
Yeah, Curtis, it's funny. Earlier on in my career, I was slinging a lot of telecom out there, selling voice and internet. And when I sold voice, I don't think I brought up security once. I don't think I was asked about it once. And you're probably right, eavesdropping was probably a simple thing to do. But when we fast forward to today, like you mentioned, you've got voice, right? Now you've got chat, now you've got video, not to mention all the APIs into kind of what you're alluding to, CRM, workforce management. You are controlling all communications. I mean, how do you even go about locking that down? It seems like now you're the center point of all data. Like we used to worry about maybe the database, but now we can get to real-time transactions, which I think are even more valuable to a hacker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just a voice world anymore. Look where we are right now. We're in a video set. We have lots of chat and team sharing going on and everything else like that. And we see all the time, we have detection tools out there to look for passwords or password looking like things. But I'm even seeing in chat tools now entire private key sets sent to each other. So
Wow.
these tools have to be looked at from a perspective of they're super powerful for a business. They can really help somebody work from home, work remotely, survive a COVID type thing. These are the things we dream about in the morning. But you have to look at the underside of it. And the other part of it, and Leslie really tapped into this really great, it's a very soft human target. Talking somebody out of their password for their bank account might be a great silver tongue kind of play in the social engineering world, but getting someone to cough up their email password or their messaging password, or seeing the key in their little pin to get into their communication device, that's not a whole lot of tough bar to meet in there. So we have to be the vigilant side of that in the software. We have to put the tools in, and we have to have the backing on our own platform, understanding that we are holding the kind of data that's on there, and that's people and tools.
Let's talk a little bit about that platform. Video's just exploded since COVID, right? It's everywhere. Everybody's on it. Your kids are on it. And video's gotten a little bit of a black name recently through this, when the security lens was shined on it. And I understand you guys are building a new video platform for yourselves. You're going to be more secure. Can you allude a little bit of what you're doing there and why?
Yeah, most certainly. So video has been very exciting. We've been working on our own video platform for some time now. So we had sort of a fortunate, unfortunate timing. Our launch date was April 2nd. We've been in trials with beta customers and everything for the last 6-7 months. We did not, choose to launch it in the middle of COVID, but at the same time, fortuitous timing to launch a product that everybody was really needing when there may not have been scale everywhere everybody was looking, that we had a product in the marketplace at the same time. But building and putting a video product out there, we took a little bit of a different approach in there. The industry had said, make it easy. I want a one-click join, no friction. I don't want to, don't pressure grandma out of my session.
Yeah.
It's not the enterprise video experience that most enterprise companies are looking for in terms of security and capabilities in there. They want to know exactly who's in a meeting. They want to know that the meeting doesn't start without adult supervision, whatever that may be in the executive world. They want to make sure that there's a transaction logging, and they want to know the security pieces on it. And one of the things we did is we built ours around a WebRTC platform, which is a very well-known security model. It's shared with the entire world. Matter of fact, the same security that's used in there is based in the browsers. Now, again, 15 years ago, I'm not sure I would have trusted all this in my browser, but today, we as a society move trillions of dollars through browsers. Okay, you do all your banking, you do everything else through your browser. So it's a natural extension of that security footprint. We're starting with that in mind. We're layering on new features as we go further in the market, as RingCentral has always done. The very worst version of our product is today. It's always better on the next day.
Yeah, Curtis, I got time for one last question. We had a little conversation on this concept called the anarchy of applications.
Yeah.
And if you look at how many applications are trying to tie into the phone system or the UCaaS platform, hundreds, maybe thousands out there, where do you draw the line? And if you're advising people on the phone, you've got your Salesforce integration, you got your Zoho integration, or whatever. What are your thoughts on that? Can we secure it all? Is it just going to be a free-for-all? And where is this heading?
Yeah. Great point. So, I mean, we talked about the democracy of devices, BYOD being this great thing, but it kind of led to the anarchy of applications. CISOs are going to have to take a look at their footprint. They're going to be pushed to be very remote working, and they're going to have to go, 500 or 1,000 apps is not really where I can work it. I've got to work with vendors that have a lot under one umbrella, have those integrations already built in that only work in an encrypted and key-based fashion, and move forward on policies like that to avoid losing control of their data footprint.
Curtis, thanks a lot today. You guys have been a great partner for all of us. And we truly believe this technology, even post-COVID, is going to explode. If you're sitting on a premise-based phone system, there will be no reason you don't go to a unified collaboration system in the cloud. So we're looking for great days ahead. Next up, I'm going to go back to Drew. Drew and Josh from Verizon, you guys are up.